We're going to start in a seated meditation today. Before we do, if you have blocks at home, they're really helpful, but if you don't have blocks at home, I've seen people use cans, or I've used the Clorox containers, the big ones. So they're about the same height as a block. And I've seen, I saw one teacher use a wine crate. So you can get kind of creative with props if you don't have actual blocks at home. And then we'll just start. You can sit cross-legged or back on your heels if you want to sit in a modified virasana. And just let the eyelids close. Start to shift some weight back into the sitting bones, letting the shoulders stack over the hips. And as you start to sit tall through the spine, just allow the facial muscles to relax. Maybe even letting the teeth separate. Let the eyelids be heavy over the eyeballs. Finding an internal gaze with the mind's eye. So in these first few moments, you might just find your natural breath. Eventually start to even out both halves of the breath. So start to find an even length inhale and an even length exhale. We're finding some equanimity, some balance to the breath. We're breathing in and out of the nose. And if you'd like to invite an Ujjayi pranayama, you continue this breath, breathing in and out of the nose. So just finding a slight constriction in the back of the throat. It's an audible breath starting to calm over the nervous system. And as you breathe, just notice if the shoulders tend to rise towards the ears. See if you can keep them softened down and send the breath all the way down into the very bottom of the lungs. See for the belly expanding, the diaphragm muscle releasing down. And when you're ready, just bring your hands together at heart center, palms touching. Atman Anjali Mudra. And bow the chin towards the heart. I invite you to set an intention for your practice today. Letting it be something that you want to take out of this next 75 minutes together. Whether it's a physical goal in the practice or maybe something less tangible. Maybe just feeling rooted or unattached to where the practice takes you today. And we'll seal in our intentions with the breath together. Exhale all the air from the lungs. And take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. And gently blink the eyes open. And we'll go ahead and we'll all make our way to a child's pose. So you bring your big toes to touch, and you can bring your knees open wide. Release the forehead down, or if you want to bring the knees a little bit closer together to find more of a low back release, you can. And so once you come into your child's pose, just let everything soften in. Let the forehead melt towards the mat. And with every inhale, just start to walk the fingertips a little bit further forward in space. Maybe coming up to the fingertips like you're holding cupcakes underneath your hands, tenting the fingers. Let every exhale sink the hips down and back towards the heels. As you inhale, feel the ribs expanding outwards towards the sides. And as you exhale, let everything soften back in. And then on your next inhale, you'll just lift the gaze gently and start to walk the hands over to the right. And if you want to place the left hand over the right for a little bit more sensation, you can. And this time I want you to think about breathing space in between each of the left ribs. So getting into those intercostal muscles, those inner rib muscles with the breath. Inhale, expanding all the way down the left side body. And every exhale, letting the hips weight back towards the heels. And inhale, walk the hands through center. And then exhale over to the left again. Option to place right hand over the left this time. You want a deeper sensation to the stretch. With the inhales, you'll expand into the right side of the rib cage, creating space in between each rib. And every exhale, letting the hips ground down and back. Another inhale, creating length. And every exhale, letting the belly soften. And then inhale, walk the hands back to center. And we'll all come onto all fours. So a tabletop position, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, fingers spread nice and wide. We'll find some cat-cows. So as you inhale, drop the belly, lift through the heart. And as you exhale, start to round and curl through the spine, lengthening the tailbone down towards the backs of the knees. Good. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat pose. Navel draws in. Good. One more round like that. Inhale, drop the belly, broaden across the chest. And exhale, round and curl. Keeping the shoulders over the wrists. And then find a neutral spine and then flip the fingertips back to face the knees. So the heels of the hands are forward. And we'll find our cat-cows once again. So you'll inhale, drop the belly, lift through the gaze. And then exhale, round and curl. And it might be more subtle. Good. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat, rounding and curling. One more round. Inhale, broaden across the chest. And exhale, round and curl. And then find a neutral spine, flip the fingertips back forward, and then just come to the tops of the hands so that the fingers face towards the knees. Just find a little stretch through the flexor muscles of the wrist. So you're getting that counter stretch, maybe sitting the hips back subtly. And then bring the hands back down. We'll go ahead and walk the hands up, palm print forward in space. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, broadening across the chest. Tuck the toes as you breathe in. And then lift the hips up and back into your downward facing dog as you breathe out. Good, so feel free to find some movement here. If you want to pedal out your dog, bending right knee, then left. Or maybe rolling the heels side to side, getting the stretch into the side bodies. Take whatever organic movement your body is craving today. We'll all eventually arrive in stillness in our downward facing dog. So I like to bend my knees at first, just see if I can find more length through the spine, lifting the tailbone a little bit higher. And then from there, keeping all that length down the spine, I'm going to start to re-extend the heels down towards the mat. And if you gaze back, make sure you see the heels disappearing behind the toes so they're not turning in or out. Continue to integrate all 10 knuckles into the mat and hug the outer upper arm bones in towards one another so it's an active shape. A deep breath in through the nose. Big exhale. Another round. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, empty out. Next inhale, you're going to roll forward to a high plank position, leading with the back of the heart, shoulders stack over the wrists, contract through the fronts of the thighs towards the backs of the thighs. And then as you exhale, you're going to bend the knees, lift the hips back up, downward facing dog. So starting to connect the breath to the movement, we're going to inhale, roll forward to a plank. Exhale, bend the knees, lift the hips up and back. Good, 2 more like that. Inhale, starting to move like a wave. Exhale. Good, 1 more. Inhale, roll forward. This time hold in the high plank. As you exhale, we'll lower all the way down to the mat. And you can lower the knees first if you like. Bring your big toes to touch, tops of feet to the mat. And then inhale, Bhujangasana, baby cobra. So find a lift through the chest. Micro tuck the chin so you're elongating through the back of the neck. And press the pinky toe edges, especially down into the mat of the feet. 1 more deep breath in. And exhale, forehead releases to the mat. Good, you'll tuck the toes firm through the thighs. As you inhale, either find a tabletop or maybe press all the way up, high plank. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good, grounding breath in. Big exhale, empty out. Good, inhale, fill up all the way. And exhale, empty out completely. And last round of breath, inhale. And exhale, empty out. And on your next inhale, you're gonna gaze forward, bend the knees. As you exhale, just start to tiptoe the feet forward towards the hands. And you'll bring your feet about hips width distance apart at the top of the mat. And a little bend in the knees. And then just grab opposite elbow or bicep for ragdoll. So the more you bend in the knees, the more you'll find this release in the low back. You can sway side to side. Maybe wiggle the jaw side to side. And just let the crown of the head be pulled by gravity down towards the earth. Good. So if you want to extend this into sundials, on your next inhale, you're going to sweep all the way up to the right, lifting up, still holding onto your elbows. And as you exhale down to the left, moving 3 times in this direction. Inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale, lifting up. And exhale down to the left. And then we'll switch sides. So you'll inhale, sweep up over to the left. Exhale carries you back down to the right. And 2 more, inhale. Exhale. And last one, inhale, lifting up. And exhale, folding forward. And just release the fingertips down onto the mat. And you can keep your feet hips width distance apart or toe heel them together to touch. Keeping that soft bend in the knees, chin to chest. Start to round up, stacking one vertebra on top of the next. The crown of the head's gonna arrive last. We'll inhale, shrug the shoulders towards the ears. Exhale, draw them down the back, palms point forward in space. And then everyone gaze down at your toes and flex the toes towards your shins so you feel the entire sole of each foot rooting down into the mat. The shins lifting up towards the kneecaps. Good. And then spread the toes back down. Good. Keep lengthening the tailbone down towards the heels. Then inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. High prayer, Urdhva Hastasana, lifting through the chest and sternum. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Good. On your next inhale, find a halfway lift. Hands to match inner thighs. And exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. This time as you exhale, you'll step the left leg back, finding a runner's lunge. So you can have your hands or fingertips on the mat, or if you want to place them on blocks, you can place them on blocks as well to get a little lift. We're going to lower the back knee down, untuck the back toes, inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So once again, think about lengthening the tailbone down towards the back of the left knee. And then as you reach the arms overhead, keep spiraling the pinky finger in towards one another. So you're finding an external wrap through the shoulders. A deep breath in here, finding length. As you exhale, bring your right hand to your hip and find a side body stretch. You can have hand on hip, block, or reaching towards the mat. Try not to lean the torso forward here. So you still want to keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. You want to feel this stretch going from the left outer knee all the way up to the left fingertips. Good. Inhale, back through center, arms reach overhead. And then as you exhale, plant the palms, step back, high plank position. Good. Deep breath in here. As you exhale, knees to the mat, chest to the mat, chin to the mat. Slide the heart through. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana, one breath. And exhale, forehead releases. Good. Tuck the toes as you inhale, high plank or tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Good. Inhale, keep lifting up and back through the inner thighs. Exhale. Good. One more round of breath here. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, let it go. The next inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. As you exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. One breath here through our Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms reach overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, this time step the right leg back. So you're in your runner's lunge on the other side, maybe coming onto your fingertips to lift the torso off of the left thigh. All right, lower the back knee down when you're ready. Untuck the back toes. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So again, lifting the pubic bone up towards the navel will help you feel that deeper stretch down the right side. So I'd keep reaching up from the sides of the ribs, maybe lifting through the gaze, deep breath in. And as you exhale, left hand to the left hip, or reaching towards the mat or a block, find your side body stretch. So again, try not to let the torso lean forward or take an exaggerated back bend here. We just want to find that stretch in the right side, from the outside of the right knee all the way to the right fingertips. Good. Inhale, come back, recenter. As you exhale, plant the palms, step back, high plank. Deep breath in. And then exhale, knees to the mat, chest to the mat, chin to the mat. Slide the heart through. Inhale, Bhujangasana, baby cobra. And exhale, forehead releases. Good. Tuck the toes. Inhale, high plank or tabletop. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. 3 deep breaths. Inhale here. Exhale, let something go. Inhale, maybe reconnecting with any intention you set. And exhale, letting it out. Good. 1 more deep breath in, fill up. And exhale, empty out. And next, inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. And as you exhale, step or maybe hop to the top of the mat. Good. Next, inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands by the sides, Tadasana, mountain pose. And so you want your palms to face forward here, broadening across the chest. On your next inhale, sit the hips back, sweep arms up, Utkatasana, chair pose. Good. Think about sitting low and back so you can still see your toes when you gaze down. And then again, keep wrapping pinky fingers in towards one another, externally wrapping from the shoulder joint. Good. 1 more deep breath in. As you exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back, high plank. Good. So you can take knees, chest, chin, or lower to Cobra again. But if you want to take Chaturanga this time, we'll inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, knees lifting off the mat. And exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, we'll inhale, float the right leg high to the sky. Good. As you exhale, step the foot through the hands, finding a runner's lunge. Good. We'll spin the back foot down this time, maybe toe heel the right foot an inch to the right. And inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. So warrior 1, you want to be nudging that right hip crease back, left hip crease forward, but try not to roll in on the back foot. So keep lifting through the inner arch of the left foot, pressing through the outer edge of the foot, igniting all the muscles down the back side of the left leg. Good. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale, plant the palms all the way through Chaturanga as you exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Inhale, left leg high. As you exhale, step it through, find your runner's lunge. We'll spin the back foot down, toe heel the left foot an inch to the left. Inhale, warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. So again, working the hips to point forward, but try not to roll in on that back foot. So keep pressing through the outer edge of the right foot, lifting up through the inner arch and the inner right thigh. One more deep breath in. Exhale, plant the palms, step back. Chaturanga, always optional. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. 3 deep breaths. Inhale. Big exhale. Good. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Last one. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, empty out. We'll flow through that traditional sun V. So next inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. And as you exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, palms by the sides, Tadasana. Let's sit the hips back. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. And as you exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step or maybe hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. If you hop, land with bent elbows. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good, right away, inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step the foot between the hands, runner's lunge. One breath, we'll inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale carries us all the way through our chaturanga. Good, inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step the foot through, runner's lunge. One breath, inhale, warrior one. And exhale, plant the palms, step back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Good, inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Settle the breath, inhaling through the nose. Big exhale. Good, inhale, still trying to connect to that sense of equanimity in the breath. So equal length exhale. Good, one more inhale here. And exhale, let it go. Good, on your next inhale, come forward to a high plank position. And then as you exhale, lower it all the way down. Good. So we're gonna come into Sphinx Pose. So you'll bring your elbows towards your low ribs. And then come up with your forearms down, wrists in front of elbows. So think about tractioning the forearms back and reaching the heart forward in space. And then try to press the forearms down so that you're lifting the shoulders away from the ears. Good. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. So really think about grounding through the outer edge of the elbows, inner edges of the wrists. This will help us when we practice forearm stand later. Good. You're gonna tuck your toes here, contract through the thighs. And then on your exhale, you're gonna lift the hips, forearm plank. Good. So again, pressing through the outer edges of the elbows, inner edges of the wrists. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, start to walk the toes towards the elbows. Don't worry, we're not doing forearm stand just yet. We're just working on walking the feet in and out. So once you've found your dolphin pose, press into the forearms, lift the shoulders out of the ears, and then slowly start to walk the toes back, reaching the heart parallel to the mat. So we'll do that one more time. Inhale, walk the toes in. And exhale, walk them back. Good. Deep breath in. And exhale, lower the hips back to Sphinx Pose. Good. Inhale here. And exhale, release. Forehead down, Hands under shoulders. Tuck the toes firm through the thighs. As you inhale, find your high plank or tabletop position. And then lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Good. Expansive breath in. Big breath out. Good. Inhale, keep hugging the outer upper arm bones in towards one another. And exhale, empty out. Good. One more inhale here. And big exhale. Good. On your next inhale, you're going to float the right leg high to the sky. As you exhale, find knee to nose. See if you can press the back of the heart towards the ceiling. Inhale, right leg high. As you exhale, knee to left tricep. You're going to hold here. Extend the right leg out to the left. Spin the back foot down. Inhale, fall in triangle. You're going to lift the hips up. Reach up towards the sky, maybe up overhead. You can stay in this variation. If you want to take more of a core exercise and try to grab the right foot with the left hand, you can. So it's yogi's choice, whatever you need, whatever feels best in your body. With one more deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to plant the left hand back down, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. And exhale, knee to right tricep. Good. From here, you'll go ahead and step the right foot outside the right hand for lizard. And then you can keep the back knee lifted, but if you want to lower it down, you can. And then you can come onto your forearms, or I like to sometimes bring my forearms onto blocks. And you can just sink into the stretch, keeping the foot grounded. If your knee is feeling healthy and you don't have any knee issues, you can flex the foot and roll to the outer edge of the foot. Or if you want to take a twist, reaching back for that back foot, that's also an option. Maybe either kicking into the hand or drawing the heel in. Just stay connected to the breath here. Whatever variation you choose. Maybe reconnecting to your intention, always checking back in, finding that self-study, that present awareness. And gently release the back foot if you have it. You'll bring your hands back down. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee in your lizard pose. And so from here, you're gonna spin the back foot down. So you should now have your heel pretty much in line with your back heel. And you're gonna keep your right hand either grounded or I like to have it on a block. And you're gonna inhale the left arm high, finding side angle pose. Or perhaps reaching the arm forward, palm facing in for extended side angle. Good. So if this is still too deep, just bring your elbow onto your thigh. And you want to think about creating length in this right side body. So don't sacrifice that to get the right hand lowered down. Just find what works best for you. Good. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale. Good. On your next inhale, you're going to straighten the right leg. Reach up and back, reverse triangle. Good. As you exhale, start to reach the right hand forward, sort of like you're serving a platter. Keeping all this length in the right side body. You're just going to move your hands to 6 and 12 o'clock. Now again, if you have a block, that's sometimes handy to add some height, but you can always rest your hand on your shin or ankle if it doesn't reach the mat. Good. Think about rolling the heart open towards the sky here, letting that right lower rib guide the left open so they move as one barrel. Good. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, I'm going to give you the option for a triangle variation. So you're going to take your right hand and you're going to reach it back for the left thigh, shin, or ankle. And you'll take your left hand and grab for your right ankle. And this is a twisted triangle. And then you'll start to roll the heart open more and try to gaze underneath that left armpit. Now, this is optional. You can stay in triangle if that's where you want to stay today. Good. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, release the hands, walk them over to the left, paralleling the feet for Prasarita, Tadasana. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Inhale. I'm just going to turn to face you guys. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale, lifting up through the inner arches of the feet. Exhale, letting the crown of the head be heavy towards the mat. Good. One more inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to start to walk the hands back forward. So you're in a runner's lunge with your right leg between the hands. But rather than taking chaturanga this time, we're going to press into the hands. Inhale, sweep the right leg high to the sky. Bend the knee, roll the hip open in your 3-legged dog. Good. So if you gaze back, make sure that left heel isn't turning in or out. It's still grounding down directly behind the toes. Good. So we're gonna do a standing split variation, but we're gonna keep this back hip open. So start to walk your hands back towards the left foot. And you're gonna keep this back hip open. You can keep the knee bent if you like, or straighten it. So we know in standing splits, the teacher often cues to roll that right hip down. And that is usually the case, but if we intentionally open it to serve a different purpose, that's also fine. It's all about intention. And so if you want to take this a little deeper, you'll start to walk the hands over to the left. You'll start to feel this moving all the way down the right side. Good. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, walk the hands back. Straighten the leg, re-square the hip, and set the feet down parallel to one another. Take your peace fingers, wrap them around the big toes, thumbs on top of the big toenails. Inhale, find a halfway lift. And exhale, fold into your stretch. Padangusthasana. Now, even as you're letting the upper body sort of be slack, think about lifting the shoulders away from the ears so your neck gets more room, sort of like a turtle coming out of the shell. You can even shake the head, yes and no. And gently release the toes as you inhale, find a halfway lift. And exhale, walk the hands back, downward facing dog. Good. 3 deep breaths, maybe open mouth breaths this time. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Good. 2 more, inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Good. Last one, inhale. Audible exhale, empty out. And on your next inhale, sweep the left leg high to the sky. You exhale, knee to nose, press the back of the heart towards the sky. Inhale, left leg high. And exhale, knee to right tricep. At this time, you'll extend the leg out to the right. And then come to the ball of, or the outer edge of the back foot, and inhale, fallen triangle. So reaching the arm up or overhead. Another option here is if you want to take more of a core exercise, capturing the left foot with the right hand. It's a deep breath in. Big exhale. And one more inhale. And wherever you are, as you exhale, you'll plant the right hand down, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. And exhale, knee to left tricep. And set the foot down outside the hand. Good. From here, we'll go ahead and gently lower the back knee down, setting up for our lizard pose on the other side. You can stay up on your hands, or maybe lower your forearms down to something like a block that adds a little height, or all the way down to the mat. And then if your knees are healthy and you want to flex the foot or roll to the outer edge of the foot, you can. Or if you want to take a twist, you can. So in yoga, we always have so many options. And it's not about getting attached to a right way of doing things or a wrong way of doing things. It's just figuring out the different ways of doing things. And the many different ways just help you get what you need out of the practice. So even here, if you're taking the twist, you can play with kicking into the left hand, opening through the chest, or drawing the heel in towards the glute, getting more of a quad stretch. So just being inquisitive. And again, always finding intention with what choices you decide to make. And one more deep breath in. As you exhale, you'll bring that left hand back inside the left foot. You'll tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. And then you're gonna spin the back foot down. So you should have your right heel and your left heel relatively in the same line. So we're gonna move into our side angle. You're gonna plant the left fingertips down and inhale the right arm high. Now, I like to have a block. You can also bring your elbow to your thigh if you wanna come up a little higher. And then if you wanna take extended side angle, you'll just sweep the right arm forward, palm facing in, and try to reach the pinky finger furthest forward. Finally, if you want to start to roll the chest open, let the left low ribs sort of guide the right ribs open so it doesn't feel like the right ribs are running away from the left. I have my window open, so sorry if you can hear the sirens. Good. Next, inhale, you'll straighten the left leg, reverse triangle. And as you exhale, you'll start to reach the left fingertips forward like you're serving a platter. You want to keep all this length in the left side body. And then just bring the arms to 6 and 12 o'clock. So just bringing your hand as low as you can without sacrificing that length. Keeping an equidistant amount of length between the ribs and hip bones on both sides. And again, if it doesn't strain your neck, you can gaze up. Maybe gently barrel the heart open. And a deep breath in. And big exhale. And one more inhale here. And as you exhale, option to take this twisted triangle. So I'll cue you through it. You're gonna take your left hand and reach back for the right thigh, shin, or ankle. And your right arm is gonna sweep forward to capture the outside of the left shin or ankle. You're gonna start to roll the heart through as if you're gazing underneath the right armpit. And one more deep breath in, creating space on that right side. And as you exhale, you'll walk the hands over to the right, paralleling the feet, taking Prasarita. Tadasana one more time. So this time, if you want to take a different arm variation, or feel free to take an inversion if you feel comfortable in your space. If you want to take a different arm variation, you can grab the outside, the edges of the feet, and maybe take Prasarita C, interlacing hands behind the back, and exhaling, reaching them forward in space. Now, if you take this variation, the tendency is to counterbalance by sinking the hips way back behind the heels. So you still want to keep the hips stacked in line with the ankles. So you're going to have to shift some weight forward into the balls of the feet and then lift up to the shins, contract through the thighs. So keep active in the front side of the legs. You can also place a block under your head to help stabilize. Good. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, release fingertips down if they're lifted. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, you'll walk your hands back, finding your runner's lunge at the top of the mat. Hands will frame the left foot. Plant the palms down. Inhale, sweep the left leg high to the sky. Bend the knee, roll the hip open. Good, and then gaze at your right heel. Try to keep it from doing anything wonky like turning in or out. Just keep it tracking right behind the toes. You'll keep your legs in this open hip dynamic. And on your next exhale, start to walk the hands back towards the right toes. So it's an open hip standing split with intention to do so, just so we can get into different muscles. Now, you can straighten the leg or keep it bent. You want to take this into a deeper side body stretch. You'll start to walk the hands over to the right, maybe gazing under the left armpit. Deep breath in. Big exhale. And one more inhale. And then exhale. Walk the hands back forward. Re-square the left hip and set it down. Stepping the feet about hips width distance apart in your forward fold. And so we're going to take Tadasana, gorilla pose this time. So you're going to take your hands as if they were shovels and dig them underneath the feet as far back as you can so that you can get the toes to the wrist. So if you need to bend your knees a lot to make that happen, that's fine. And then we'll inhale, find a halfway lift, start to reach the heart forward as much as you can. And exhale, let the elbows draw out to the sides, pulling yourself a little deeper. Again, letting the shoulders lift up away from the ears. Creating space in the neck. Maybe wiggling the jaw side to side. So even when we're inverted or upside down, such as now, still think about sending the breath up to the lower back. The deeper and more mindfully you breathe, the more you can achieve getting deeper into the muscles and the connective tissue with the breath. So gently release the hands from underneath the feet. Inhale, halfway lift. And then as you exhale, walk back downward facing dog. Good. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more grounding breaths. Inhale, filling up. And exhale, letting it go. Last one, inhale here. And then exhale, you're going to lower the knees down to a tabletop. And we're going to do forearm stand. If forearm stand's not for you and you just want to take forearm plank or dolphin like we did earlier, that's fine. I sometimes think dolphin can be more challenging just to hold and build strength. If you have a block at home, I like using a block to help stabilize the shoulder. So if you don't have a block, you're gonna just bring your elbows down, grab opposite biceps, and then keeping the elbows where they are, you're just gonna bring the hands down so that the wrists are in front of the elbows. Now, if you're holding onto a block, the wrist might be a little bit closer in, just given the width of the block. And you're gonna hold it, making an L shape with the fingers. So thumb on the bottom and those fingers on the sides. From here, you're gonna tuck the toes and then lift the hips, finding your dolphin pose. And then the first step is just working on lengthening the hamstring. So maybe walking the toes in closer, trying to get the hips higher over the shoulders. You wanna have your gaze in between the wrists. And then if you're collapsing or shrugging the shoulders towards the ears, press down into the mat to lift up out. So same thing as before, think about pressing through the outer edges of the elbows, inner edges of the wrists. And then if you want, you can start to lift the left leg. Maybe set it down and lift the right. You can stay with just alternating legs, or maybe you'll lift one leg, play with a few little hops, maybe trying to draw the right knee into the chest. Eventually, maybe working both legs straight up. And then coming back down and making sure to try both sides. And then if you're in dolphin, you're just holding, you're thinking about the breath. As time passes, see if you can bring your awareness back to the breath. Steadying the inhale and the exhale. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale, release. Come to a child's pose. And in your child's pose, this time, maybe flip the palms face up so that you feel more of the stretch underneath the armpits and the side bodies, the serratus. Next, inhale, send the breath horizontally across the back. And exhale, let the belly soften like a pool. Then one more deep breath in. And big exhale. When you're ready, gently come up to a seat and you'll just cross the ankles. And bring the feet through. So we're just gonna do a little shoulder stretch here. You can keep your legs cross-legged or you can extend them out in front of you in Tadasana. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk the hands back. So it's gonna be more intense the closer your hands are together. Less intense if you bring them a little bit wider. We'll inhale, lift up through the chest. And your fingertips should be pointing back, so the shoulders are rotating externally. As you exhale, you might start to inch the hands backwards in space. And stopping when your body will tell you your natural stopping point. So try not to force anything. Once you've found that stopping point, just invite in the breath. So inhaling, trying to lift the chest up. And spread the breath across the collarbones. And big exhale. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. The last one, inhale here. And exhale, let it go. And gently walk the hands back up slowly. And we're going to move into straddle legs. So if you need to turn sideways on your mat, you can. And you're going to bring your legs out to the straddle shape. So before we move into our Upavishta Konasana stretch, we're just going to do one final sort of abdominal, shoulders, hip flexor exercise. So we're going to start by breaking it down on each side. So you're going to bring your fingertips to frame the right leg. You're going to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to try to lift your right foot up towards your face. And then inhale, lower. And then this time as you exhale, you're going to plant the hands down and try to lift the hips. And then lower. Good. This time, bring the hands to frame the left thigh. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, try to lift the left foot up towards your face. And then inhale, lower. This time, as you exhale, you'll plant the palms, round forward, try to lift the hips. And then lower. And we'll just try one time each side, maybe to coordinate the two. So you'll bring your hands to frame the right thigh. You're going to take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you'll round over the leg and try to lift both the hips and the feet. And lower. And bring the arms over to the left to frame the left thigh. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, round over the thigh, press into the hands, try to lift. And lower. And just to shake it out, roll the heels and toes in and out. Good. And now we'll take our stretch. So bring your legs as wide as is comfortable. Make sure the knees are pointing towards the sky, toes are pointing up. You'll either bring your hands behind you and just work on sitting nice and tall. Or if you want to start to walk the hands forward in space, you'll start to walk the fingertips forward, leading with the heart. So trying to keep the spine nice and long. And then eventually you can rest your forehead on your blocks. Maybe bring your forearms down. Or maybe create a little pillow for your head to rest. Now, if this bothers your SI joint, and you'll feel it in the low back, you can take a bound angle pose instead, just bringing the soles of the feet together, knees open wide and folding forward. The more we understand our bodies and listen in, the more intelligent we can become about where to take our practice. Deep breaths in through the nose. And big exhales. We'll take 5 to 10 more breaths here. See if you can allow the shoulders to relax, the neck, the jaw. The fingers, the wrists. And then very gently, if and when we're ready, we'll start to walk the hands back up. And to come out of this, I like to just scoop my hands under my knees, sort of like the shovels again, and just let the knees bend a little first, and then walk the feet in. Just plant the feet and just hug the shins and close the eyes. If you want to rest your knees near the eye sockets, you can, or you can rest them on your forehead. But just think about sending the breath all the way to the back of the skull, the back of the heart. Soothing over any phrase in the nervous system. And gently lift the gaze. And we'll go ahead and start to make our journey onto our back. So if you want to grab behind your knees to lower it down, you can. If you have another favorite way of coming onto your back, feel free to do so. Once you arrive, you'll just cross your right ankle over your left knee. You'll place your right hand on top of the right thigh and gently just press the thigh up and away from the right hip bone, creating some space. And you feel free to stay here. Or if you want to move into a reclined pigeon, you'll lift the left foot off the mat and just reach through for the left thigh or shin. Maybe gently guiding the right thigh forward in space with the right elbow. And keep the feet flexed here so that you're protecting the knee joint. See if you can relax the shoulders down, letting them melt into the mat. And gently set the left foot down and draw the right knee into the chest. And from here, you'll go ahead and extend the left leg long in front of you. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, gently guide the knee across the body for supine twist. If you want to slide a pillow or blocks underneath that right knee, you can. And I encourage you, if your gaze is wandering, maybe let the eyelids close. As you can tune into the sensations internally as we start to approach the final bits of class. Still checking in with yourself. And then gently, if you're ready, come back to center. And you'll set the right foot down and cross left ankle over the right knee. You can start by pressing the left hand in towards the left thigh, pressing it up and away from that left hip bone, creating some space. Feel free to stay here. Go ahead and find your reclined pigeon, lifting the right foot off the mat and reaching through for the right hamstring. And releasing the fingers and maybe gently guiding that left thigh forward in space with the left elbow. So again, just Relax the shoulders as much as you can. Don't let any of the tightness that you might experience in the hips refer themselves into tension other places in the body. One more deep breath in here. And then as you're ready, gently set the right foot down, hug the left knee into the chest. And go ahead and extend the right leg out long. Take a deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, gently guide the knee across the body, finding supine twist. Again, if you want to stack a block or a pillow underneath the knee, you can. And see if you can take some of your deepest breaths of class. Allowing gravity to do most of the work. When you're ready, gently come back through center. Set the left foot down and draw the right knee in so the feet are planted down on the mat. So you'll bring the soles of the feet together, knees open wide like a book for Supta Baddha Konasana. Feel free to move the feet further away from the pelvis. You need more of a low back release. And just rest your hands face down on the belly. And see if you can send deep breaths all the way into the belly so you feel the space beneath the hands lifting and lowering with the breath. And if you'd like, you can bring your hands to the tops of the right and left thighs and just gently press the tops of the thighs back and forth away from the hips. Just starting to find a little bit more opening there and some length in the sides. Eventually, you'll go ahead and extend both legs out long in front of you, about max width distance apart. You'll roll the palms face up by the sides, letting the shoulders roll underneath the heart. And see if you can start to let every cell in the body start to surrender here. Cultivating a sense of trust that you're supported by both the space around you and within you in this moment. and that you can let go of all control here in these last few moments of class, letting everything surrender completely, even the breath. Just existing and experiencing everything in its natural state. I'm going to leave you in Shavasana today. Feel free to stay as long as you like. If you have any follow-up class questions for me or feedback, just feel free to message me or email me. Thank you both for sharing your time and your energy and your practice with me today. Namaste.